As a wrestling fan for years, there's a ton of different things that are on my wrestling bucket list. Let's talk about it. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's JLD, and we have another wrestling video for you guys today. As a wrestling fan, I'm sure there's a long laundry list of things that we would love to do or experience that would leave a lasting effect on us for the rest of our lives. Whether you're into WWE, AEW, or the independent scene, there's definitely something for everybody. And I'm sure for a lot of people that are watching this, I'm sure one of your biggest goals is to go to a WrestleMania live in person. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 7 things that are on my wrestling bucket list that I want to do during my lifetime. And I challenge you guys to do the same as well. No matter if it's a crazy goal, if it's big or small, writing it down can prove to manifest it into real life for you guys. And if you've done anything that's on my checklist, let me know down in the comments your experience, or let me know how it went. So the very first thing on my bucket list is, as you guessed it, go to another WrestleMania. So next year's WrestleMania is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and as somebody who lives in New York City, that's not really far away. But when tickets went on sale, they were just too expensive at the time, and I just felt like it would be too much on my credit card bill after already spending a good amount of money on wrestling stuff, wrestling content, and even wrestling shows throughout the year. And just basic life expenses, my credit card will thank me for not buying them. But it would be nice to go to another WrestleMania that may not even be nearby, maybe in California or Texas or Seattle, somewhere where the next WrestleMania could be in 2025. Who knows? The last WrestleMania that I went to was WrestleMania 35 back in 2019 when they were in MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey where the Giants and Jets play. It was my very first WrestleMania. Mrs. JLD and I had really good seats. We got to take very nice photos, both of us and of the show itself. I even found us on TV for like 0.5 seconds of a frame when they were singing the national anthem, which was really cool. But WrestleMania shows are definitely not what they used to be back in the day. Back in the day, WrestleManias were in Madison Square Garden, in small arenas, but now they're basically all in football fields because they got to get the audience attendance high, so that way they make a lot of money. And just the demand for WrestleMania is just absolutely wild. People fly in from all over the world to see this, both wrestling and non-wrestling fans. And even if I was able to get WrestleMania tickets for next year, I don't want to be up at the nosebleeds or looking at the back of somebody's head the entire night. So when I buy WrestleMania tickets or wrestling show tickets as a whole, I like to spend a little bit more just to get that good view and the good experience. But WWE, if you ever see this video, hook me up. I will give you some good video content for it. Now, the next task on my bucket list is to buy a John Cena replica spinner belt from the WWE shop. This is probably the most simple task out of all of the bucket list items that we have here today, but things get expensive. Life is expensive. My credit card will probably thank me for not buying it today. Because have you seen the price of not only John Cena spinner belt, but other wrestling replica belts that are on the WWE shop, especially even the NFL ones? The average price for a John Cena spinner belt can range from $350 if they are on sale during a premium live event to up to $500 at the full retail price. And I don't think it's something that I need to prioritize at this moment. So I'm totally fine with waiting, but if WWE Shop wants to get a review out of me, you know where to find me. Send me the belt. I currently only have one replica belt in my collection, which is the Big Gold World Heavyweight Championship. I also have the WWE Championship right there, which is a commemorative version of the belt, which is not the full metal, but a nice hard plastic, same size, but just less weight. And I actually like it much lighter too, which is really cool. The John Cena spinner belt was something that I grew up on as a kid, watching John Cena beat everybody for the WWE Championship. So it'll be nice to actually own a piece of my childhood by owning that replica spinner belt. I owned the toy version as a kid, and I remember I was so excited. I bought it with my own money. It was so freaking awesome. Also, as an FYI, we are a WWE Shop affiliate, so if you check out the link down below in the description and you buy anything from the WWEshop.com, not only will you get all of the good sales that WWE offers for you, but you'll be helping to support our channel as well by using our link to buy things. And that includes anything from their clearance items going as little as $1 up to their replica belts, which can go up to $500 or even more. Next thing is to take a pic with Trinidad Flag Guy. There are a lot of different returning audience members that everybody sees in WWE that have become celebrities themselves. And one of those big names is the Green Shirt Guy, who for years has been going to many different WWE events throughout the entire world, going to the same seat in the front row of the ring for all of the different wrestling events that have been out there, all of the different PLEs and a lot of different Raw and SmackDown shows. And what makes him stick out is his green shirt that has a nice little smile on it, where he calls himself Superfan Smiles. I actually got the opportunity to meet Green Shirt Guy on an episode of SmackDown when they were over in Madison Square Garden in New York City. I got to see it live, and when I was leaving the arena, I actually went up to him and asked if I could take a picture, and he was very nice about it, and I thanked him for it. But I also believe Trinidad Flag Guy does not get the credit he deserves for being at so many different wrestling events throughout the world as well. He as well is always in the front of the ring, front row, and always reps his Trinidad flag from Trinidad and Tobago, and even at times sitting right next to him or taking pictures with Green Shirt Guy, which is really cool as well. So they acknowledge each other alongside taking pictures with many different WWE superstars. So he's pretty well known out there as well. I'll be going to SmackDown on December 1st when they're in Brooklyn, New York, so maybe I'll see him then. We never know. Number 4 on this list is to go to an AEW pay-per-view event. Last September, I went to my very first AEW show when they did Grand Slam in Queens, New York. Luckily, I was able to get $30 tickets, so my dad and I ended up going. I bought his ticket as well, and we had pretty good seats, pretty good view of the show. It was a Dynamite live show as well as Rampage taping. But I always felt like when I went to that show that I didn't feel like I knew the entire roster like that. And I felt like I needed to do a little bit more research before I actually go back into an AEW show. That way I can actually enjoy the show just as much as the rest of the audience, instead of just knowing your MJF, Chris Jericho, and all of the ex-WWE superstars that are there, because they have a lot of different talent back there that is trying to make a name for themselves, and I'd love to get to know them and cheer them on or boo them, who knows. And I think I've done a little bit more research since then, so I'm pretty confident that I can go to another AEW show and enjoy it a bit more. And AEW will be in Long Island, New York on December 30th for their newest pay-per-view, World's End. This is the day before New Year's Eve, so it's going to be interesting how the turnout's going to be at Nassau Coliseum. Maybe I'll check out the ticket prices as well. Grand Slam was $30 a ticket for a pretty good view. And maybe this time I'll spend a little bit more just to get a little closer to the ring. Who knows? We'll find out. Another item on my list, number 5, is to do many more meet and greets, especially for next year in 2024. This year, I only got to meet a few wrestlers through New York Comic-Con. I didn't get to go to any big events or anything that I could get the opportunity to meet many WWE superstars, but it was nice to be able to meet Mercedes Fernando, MJF, and Matt Hardy this year. And I know Cricket Wireless has a relationship with WWE where they have WWE superstars do meet and greets over at their Cricket Wireless locations, which is really nice to see. So maybe next year I will start looking at more when they're going to be in the New York area. Maybe if they're going to do something in New Jersey or Pennsylvania or Connecticut, maybe I'll take a drive up there to meet some of my favorite WWE superstars, which would be really cool. We've been fortunate enough to get acknowledged from a few wrestlers in terms of likes or being added to their stories from the content that we've produced. So it'll be nice to finally meet them in person and see how they are, you know? I also know that if you buy specific tickets to certain wrestling shows, both house events and pay-per-views and weekly shows, they do come with a superstar experience where you can meet some of the superstars, which maybe I'll look into that too. I just know those superstar experiences get very expensive. And I'd love to expand my list of wrestlers that I've met in real life. You know, they sacrifice their bodies and their lives just to entertain us almost the entire year. That the least I could do is at least show my support and let them know thank you for what you do. Because I'm sure for a lot of us, they influenced us in a great way and changed our lives for the better. Or at least took us away from any dark times that we were going through. But I'll definitely be doing more research next year on meet and greets that are going on in the tri-state area. Number 6 isn't really WWE or AEW related, but I'd love to go to a House of Glory show. House of Glory is located in Queens, New York. JLD is located in Queens, New York. I think we need to make this happen next year. So many different superstars have appeared on House of Glory, both new and upcoming superstars, as well as ex-WWE and AEW superstars. They have such a great relationship with those companies that it's like, I gotta see what the whole experience is. Especially being a non-mainstream show like WWE and AEW, I'm interested to see what the crowd is like, the vibe is like, and just see if it's a whole different experience than going to like a huge stadium show. So this would be interesting to do. So House of Glory, I would love to go to your show. And the final thing on JLD's bucket list, number 7, is to have Roman Reigns in any way, shape, or form acknowledge me. Now, yes, this sounds a little crazy. Roman Reigns' social media accounts are probably managed by certain people. I'm sure Roman doesn't even look at those accounts. But Roman Reigns has no idea how much he has influenced our stream, how much he actually got me back into WWE a few years back. Even though I've been watching it for years, there have been little times where I've just stopped watching. Like, I would love to see him at a meet and greet, or imagine he liked one of our photos or videos, or we ended up on his story or as a reply. You have no idea how hyped not only myself, but our community would be if that actually happened. Like, I stopped watching WWE when the pandemic happened. I wasn't too big of a fan of the no audience and even the Zoom audience in the Thunderdome, and that's nobody's fault, but I just moved on to other things and I was starting to work on my Twitch channel at the time. But once the Bloodline story became more relevant and we saw more members enter, Sami Zayn, Solo Sikoa, it was starting to get exciting, and that's what actually brought me to want to start making WWE content for you guys. And because of that, I feel like he single-handedly brought WWE more to new heights during this time and got more eyes on the product. It would be a huge blessing to be able to meet this man. He has no idea what he's done for us. And yes, I've seen him live both as the big dog back in 2016, 2017, and I've also seen him as the tribal chief this past July. But imagine just seeing him face to face, being able to hold a conversation with him, maybe ask him some questions, anything. I would love to meet this man because he is a big influence on us. I don't care if you're upset because he's been over 1,000 days as champion, hasn't defended it. I feel like for me, he's a big person in my heart. And there you have it, folks, the 7 things that are on my wrestling bucket list. Let me know what's on yours in the comments down below. Or if you've experienced any of the things that I said in my video, let me know what the experience was like. And if you made it to the end of the video, I'm very appreciative of you and I thank you very much for it. If you haven't done so already, make sure you like this video if you enjoyed what I talked about. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way you can see some of the best wrestling content out there possible. Take care, guys, and I will see you guys on the next upcoming video. Peace out.